Your creative journey is just one SMART goal away from success. But what even is a SMART goal? A SMART goal is a framework that helps lay your goal's foundation by splitting it into 5 categories: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So, what makes a goal specific? To make it specific, think about what you truly want to do with this goal. For example, instead of saying, "I want to draw," which is very vague, try, "I want to learn how to draw and color chibi animals." This change helps so much to solidify your goal, and the more you specify what you want to achieve, the more you can track your progress. For my goal, I want to create a video game entirely in Hightail, with the vision for the game being a mix of farming sim, exploration, and slight RPG elements. I'm thinking Slime Rancher's gameplay meets Undertale's consequences. So, here's your chance to make your goal specific. And if you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Okay, now that you've pinpointed your goal, you have to make that goal measurable. When thinking about a measurable goal, think about the roadmap you want to take to achieve it. For example, if you were trying to drive from Virginia to California, you'd want to make sure that you knew what spots you're going to stop to take breaks, go to a hotel, that kind of thing. And that's the exact same thing for making your goal measurable. For the drawing goal, here's a few examples of milestones. For week 1, you could copy 25 references of chibi animal designs. For week 2, you could rough sketch 10 chibi animals on your own. And then in week 3, you could pick 2 to outline and color. And this goes on, etc., and so forth. Now, notice something important here. Each one of these milestones has a number attached to it. So if you're having trouble with making your goal measurable, tack on a number to it. Usually that ends up doing the trick. To make my goal measurable, I want to research and implement one or more aspects of the game development process per month, starting with a game design document and then working my way from there. Okay, now take this chance to make your goal measurable. And once again, pause the video if you need more time. All right, don't go anywhere, because we're about to discuss one of the most important aspects of making a goal, making it attainable. Whether it be the rabbit hole of YouTube videos or the lack of time and money you may have, it can be easy to overwhelm yourself when trying to achieve your goal. But it doesn't have to be. In Robert Moore's book, One Small Step Can Change Your Life, The Kaizen Way, he says, "Small actions take very little time or money, and they are agreeable even to those of us who haven't laid up bulk supplies of willpower. Small actions trick the brain into thinking, hey, this change is so tiny that it's no big deal." To get over the fear we have to chase our goals, we have to make that goal something that we won't psych ourselves out of. For the drawing example, instead of attempting to draw for 3 hours every day when you only have an hour, perhaps you could start with just 5 minutes a day and grow it as you get more comfortable. For my goal, I plan on spending 30 minutes a day working towards my goal, because I believe it's enough time to get something done while still not overwhelming myself. With that, here's your moment to pause and make your goal attainable before we move on. Great, now we've made our goal attainable, but we have to make sure that it's relevant. Relevant? If I'm making a goal, it will obviously be relevant, right? Well, not necessarily. It can be easy to start a creative project with the wrong mindset. That's why you have to make it as personal as you can. If you're starting to draw only to get as good as someone else, you're setting yourself up for failure. Ultimately, you're putting your worth in something that's not in your control, and that will not help you achieve your goal. So, instead, don't compare yourself to others. Get inspired by them. I know, it's much easier said than done. And 2, think more about internal motivators than external ones for the goal you have. Well, what do you mean by internal motivation? It's where your success is based on you and your progress only. Where getting better, even a little each day, is what ultimately matters. When drawing, look back at the past chibi designs you've made and see where the lines have gotten smoother and there have been less eraser marks and things like that show how you've progressed over the past couple of days, weeks, years, you name it. Compare this to an external motivator. which focuses on finding success from outside sources. For example, don't draw with the goal of making money or getting famous. You will always fail in the short term. Now, this doesn't mean you can't set yourself up to monetize your creative outlet, but you need to make sure that your goals aren't riding on those outside forms of success. Ultimately, take a combination of internal motivators and external motivators to make your goal something that will last both short-term and long-term. So, how is the goal I've made relevant to my creative journey? Well, this goal is allowing me to have a creative outlet that I didn't believe I could have for the longest time. For years, I told myself I just didn't have time to create. But this goal is helping me to try, build up discipline, and create again. But I'm not just trying to do it for myself. I want this channel to be an encouragement for you to start your own creative journey. And through encouragement and my videos, I hope to honor God through the things that I make. All right, you know the drill. Pause this video and make your goal relevant. All right, we have just one more aspect left to tackle, and that's to make your goal time-bound. Think of this as your deadline, and especially think about this question. What specific day or time am I shooting for to complete my creative goal? Also, when considering your deadline, you should really consider how long you're going to be spending each day before you make that final decision. Because if you think that you could paint like Picasso in a week, you're clearly mistaken. If you believe you can get good at drawing chibi animals in a month, make that your goal. And in general, plan more time than you expect so you don't overwhelm or discourage yourself. Ultimately, it's not about the end goal. It's the journey that counts. For me, I want to release a playable demo of my game by January 1st, 2027. Now, with 30 minutes a day, that gives me roughly about 183 hours or 7.5 days total throughout the year to complete my goal. Now, that may not be a lot of time to create a game. I believe it'll be enough time to create the basis for the game. Okay, think about these concepts and then set a deadline that works best for you. And that's it. You've laid out your first SMART goal. And one final tip I'll leave you with. Don't be afraid to change your goal. Over time, you'll learn more about what you want to do, and your goal will end up changing with that. So if you get in that situation, take the plunge and update your goal. Anyway, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and if you feel comfortable, comment your SMART goal down below. Also, if you're watching this between January 1st and December 31st, 2026, please feel free to share your daily progress you've made towards your goal on the daily uploads I'll be making so that we can end up making this a community of accountability. And remember, our creator made us passionate to create, so let's get cracking. With the vision for the During week 2, you might want to rough sketch 10 chibi design. Man, how you doing? And Robert Moore,